Hi to all, welcome to Ram's Android tutorials. In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you a concept called shared preferences. Before going to discuss this concept, let us know what are the data storage options are available in Android application development. So we have these 5 types of data storage options are available in the application development. Very first one is the shared preferences. The second one is internal storage, external storage, and fourth one is SQL database, and the last one is networking, means using the web services in Android. So we are going to discuss the shared preferences. Why? Because in this stage we need to learn the shared preferences, and after some time we are going to learn remaining concepts here. So let us have a look overview on these concepts. Shared preferences, in the sense we are going to save we are going to save the data in the form of key value pairs. You can say persistent data. But here we have a restrictions. Only you can save primitive type data. Internal storage. So in the whenever you are saving the data using the concept called internal storage, it's going to save the data inside a application memory, not in the external memory. So you cannot browse the data. And if you are using the concept of external storage to save the data, the user can easily browse the data using File Explorer, or you can say File Manager. And SQL database, whenever you want to store structured data, like creating database, and in that we are going to create a tables and we are going to perform DB operations, then we can use this lightweight RDBMS concept called SQLite database. And finally, we are going to use the web services concept. So there is a remote databases and remote servers. Our application is going to communicate with those remote server, and it can exchange the data. So now we are going to discuss the shared preferences. Let us see the documentation, what it is saying. The shared preferences class provides general framework that allows you to save, retrieve, persistent key value pairs of primitive data types. That means you can store only primitive type data in the shared preferences. That's why you'll see you can save. See, you can use shared preferences to save any primitive data. Means, sir, which type of primitive data? See, always in the Java, if you have an idea about the primitive data, that you can understand. Otherwise, clearly they mention here you can store booleans, floats, int values, long, and only string objects only. See, this data will persistent across user session. That means if you are saving the data using shared preferences, even though you close the application, the data is available to the user whenever they open the next time the application. That means saving data permanently. That is the concept here. So we can access the shared preferences storage using 2 methods. One is get shared preferences, or otherwise get preferences. If you want to create a multiple preferences, we can use the get shared preferences, or if you want to use a single, then we are going to use the get preferences concept. Now let us see the program. So here I have created the project called shared preferences demo. So what I'm doing is I'm going to create a user interface first of all. Let us see the preview. Fine. I want to zoom it. I want to increase the font size. Command Alt L. Right, fine. So let me check in the Google how to increase the font size in Android Studio. How to increase font size in Android Studio. Create scheme, we name such as a custom. Control Alt S, appearance, override default fonts. Control Alt yes. Nothing is happening. Preferences, appearance, and the appearance, override default fonts, size 16. Apply. Let me see the font size. Apply. Nothing is happening. Apply. Okay. It's not appearance, I think. Again, just 1 second. Oh, this appearance is increasing. We want font, right? 16. Apply. Enough. Appearance default. Yeah, font size. Oh, this font size, it is increasing. Editor, colors and fonts, font. Apply. Okay, right. Sorry for the inconvenience. So here, first of all, I'm going to make two options. One is save option, another one is view option. Whenever I'm going to save, I'm going to save the data in the shared preferences, and whenever I'm going to say view, I'm going to view the data in the view the data from the shared preferences. So to make a more clarity on this shared preferences concept, what I'm doing, I'm going to create a two activities so that you can understand. In any activity you can save the data in the shared preferences, and in another activity you can get the data from the same shared preferences, so that the shared preferences data is available for entire application. So let me create one more activity called another activity. Right click here and you can select new, and you can say activity, and just another blank activity, and here I am selecting another activity. Finish. Once done, let me create the UI. So first of all, I want to take the edit text, and ID I am taking as a edit text underscore name, and text property is not required, so that text property we are deleting, and we can use the hint property here. So let me check where is the hint. Enter name, and after that we are going to take one button called save button, and text is save, and ID is button underscore save. Now another button I'm going to take, that is view button. So whenever you click the view, we want to view the data in the another activity what we have created. This is the UI in the main activity, and if you go to another activity XML file, just we need here text view to show the data. So the text view defaultly is in a very less size, so I'm taking a large text view here. And for this text view, we are taking the ID is text view underscore display, and the text view is not required. Why? Because we are displaying it dynamically, right? The UI part is completed. Let us go to the main activity. So these methods are not required here, just I'm removing them, and we are going to write the programming here regarding shared preferences. So first of all, we need to access the edit text name equal to edit text, and we need to call the references first of all, or.id dot edit text underscore name, and after that we are going to call the button. Why? Because if you click the button, then only we are going to save the data in the shared preferences. Button save button and find you by id r.id dot button underscore save, and after that one more button we are having, that is view button equal to button and find you by id r.id dot button underscore view. Now we need to write an action for these two buttons. So save button dot set on click listener of this, the same way view button dot set on click listener of this, and we need to make this edit text global to the class means activity. I'm going to make it as instance variable. Now we need to implement this interface so we need to make this main activity implement this on click listener. So we are implementing and overriding the method called on click method. So in the on click method, we need to write a to if condition. Why? Because we have a two buttons, so we need to write a action for the two buttons. So one is v dot get id equal to r dot id dot button underscore save. Automatically else is for the view button. Get id. Fine. Now whenever we click the button, first we need to get the data from the edit text. So what I am doing is string name equal to edit text name dot get text dot to string. So in this way we are getting the data from the edit text. Now we need to use the shared preferences framework. So you need to call first of all the method called get shared preferences. In that we need to give the name for the shared preferences. Using that name only, again we can access the shared preferences, and as soon as you execute this shared preferences, it's going to create an XML file, and for that XML file it is giving the name what we are giving now. So I'm giving file name is prefs, and mode just I'm giving mode underscore private, and this get shared preferences is going to return the shared preferences reference. So you are going to take shared preferences equal to, and we want to write the data into these shared preferences. So whenever you want to write the data, again we need to have a editor reference now. So editor equal to, and we need to, how we are going to get the reference for these shared preferences editor, in the sense to call the edit method from the shared preferences. And once you call the edit method, then we have an authorization to store the data. So that simple, from the editor class we need to call the put methods, and you will see the methods here only these methods are available, so that this type of data only you can store. So I want to store the string data, so that I'm going to select the method put string. Key I'm giving is, let us say, my name, and value is the data what we got from the edit text, that is name. So finally we need to commit the changes. So you need to call the method commit. If you're not calling the commit method, it's not going to save the data in the shared preferences. So keep it in mind. And after that, whenever you click the view button, the else condition is executing here. So we need to start the another activity. So I'm going to call start activity of new intent, and we are calling get application context comma another activity dot class. So this is the program to save the data in the shared preferences. So whenever you come to the another activity, in the onCreate method itself, we are getting the data from the shared preferences, and we are setting the data to the, that means the name to the text view. So very simple, wherever in this application you want to access this shared preferences, simple there, take this one, copy it and just paste it here. And once you paste it here, simple, if you want to write the data, then only header is required. If you want to read the data, header is not required. String name equal to, directly in the shared preferences class, we have a method to get the data. So shared preferences dot get string of key, we have given my name and value. If this shared preferences is not executing, you can display the default value from here, no name found. So once we have this, just we need to call the text view, and text view equal to text view and find you by id or dot id dot text view underscore display. Simple. We are going to use the method set text method, and we are going to setting the name to the text view. That's it. The concept is finished. And now you can execute this. Oh, sorry. Just run the run option. Just click the run option, and you'll see how it saved the data in the form of key value page. We can clearly so once it is executed, I'll show you how we can see the data. First you run the application, and you'll see I'm entering the name Rams Android, and just I click the button, save button. See, 2 times I saved, so that it's going to save the data one time only. Why? Because we used one key only. So just you click the back button. This mode now, whenever you click the back button, the current activity is destroyed, so that application closed. Now we can see that where the data has been saved. If you are able to see the data, so you can have a clarity that this is the data saving permanently. That's why just you need to launch this AVD monitor. In the AVD monitor, you can see select the emulator, and you can see here file explorer. In the file explorer, go to the data folder. Again under the data folder, again open the data folder. Here you can see all our application package names. So our application package name is com.rams Android shared preferences. Open that, and you'll see whenever you have implemented the shared preferences and you executed it, that's going to create a shared prefs folder. In that you have a prefs.xml file. You see the name, that name only we have given in the shared preferences. You'll see preferences. So you can pull this file, just select the file, and top right corner you can see two options. One is pull a file, another one is a push a file. So we need to use the concept called pull a file. So I'm pulling to the desktop, and you can say save it. Now you'll see here we have a file. So it is an XML file, just you can open it. Sorry for the delay. My Mac is taking more time to open any application. Now you'll see here map. In that it saved the data what we passed. The name is what now, RAM standard. You will see string name equal to my name is the name and this is the value. So it looks like exactly strings.xml in our res folder. So in this way it's going to maintain the data now. So this is that fine. Again, whenever you open the application, you'll see shared preferences. We need to see the data what we saved. So that again I'm opening the application. This time I'm not saying why, because already we saved the name. Just you click the view, see it is getting the name what we saved in the shared preferences. And here I'm saying just Android. So what is happening? Whenever you click the save button, and what happened? Now you click the save button, you will see in the main activity again it's getting the data from the edit text and it is access already it was there and it is saving the value in the same key, so that the existing value is going to replace. It's not going to create a new value. That one you should understand now. That's why this change should take effect. That's why we are calling the commit method. And you can observe here again, click the save and you click the view. Whatever we saved, that is only can view and it can display in the another activity. Thank you for watching. If you like my videos, you can subscribe my channel by clicking subscribe button below, and you have my blog called Rams Android blog. Just you can type in the Google Rams Android, sorry. My blog will come, and in this blog you will get a lot of Android source code from basic to advanced concepts. Thank you for watching. We will meet in next tutorial.